The drama surrounding Shedeur Sanders and his NFL debut has taken on a life of its own, turning what looked like a simple rookie struggle into a conversation that's shaking the entire Cleveland Browns organization. What happened against the Baltimore Ravens wasn't just a rough outing from a young quarterback. It was a revealing moment, one that peeled back the layers and exposed how preparation, leadership, and coaching decisions can make or break a player stepping into the spotlight. Sanders walked onto that field carrying expectations shaped by his college brilliance, his father's legacy, and the energy that has followed him since his arrival in Cleveland. But instead of the poised quarterback fans had hoped to see, what unfolded was a performance that even Sanders himself would admit fell far below his own standard. His throws drifted out of reach, his decisions felt a beat too slow, and the Ravens' pressure swallowed him before he could regain his rhythm. But in the NFL, struggles don't exist in a vacuum, and soon the truth behind his preparation began to surface, changing the entire narrative. The shockwave came when Kevin Stefanski admitted that Sanders had not taken first-team reps during the week. A detail like that might seem small to casual fans, but anyone who understands NFL structure knows exactly what that means. Sanders wasn't practicing with the starting receivers. He wasn't timing routes with Jerry Jeudy. He wasn't building chemistry with the offensive line he would be playing behind. And most importantly, he wasn't being prepared for the moment that eventually came, the moment Dillon Gabriel went down and Sanders was thrown into the fire. Tony Rizzo exploded when that information came out, voicing what many had been quietly thinking. Sanders hadn't been set up to succeed. The Browns thrust him into a game plan designed entirely for someone else, against one of the toughest defenses in football, without giving him the foundation to stand on. When Sanders revealed that the first ball he ever threw to Jeudy came during the actual game, the outrage grew louder. How is a rookie quarterback supposed to operate on instinct and anticipation when he's never had the chance to build timing or trust with the key players on the field? And yet, in the middle of all this chaos, one voice rose above the rest: Myles Garrett. The Browns superstar, the defensive anchor, the heart of the locker room, walked over to Sanders during that difficult moment and reminded him that one bad drive didn't define him. He reinforced that Baltimore's defense is elite and that growing pains are part of the journey. Garrett's leadership didn't stop there. In his post-game comments, he made it crystal clear that the loss wasn't on Sanders alone. It was a team failure, an organizational failure, and he wasn't going to let the rookie carry the burden by himself. That kind of support is rare, powerful, and game-changing. When a player of Garrett's status publicly defends you, it sends a message through the entire locker room and coaching staff. This young quarterback deserves patience, support, and a genuine chance to grow. Cam Newton, a former MVP and someone who's lived through the pressure cooker of entering the league with massive expectations, didn't hold back either. His critique wasn't just about Sanders' mistakes, it was about the way the Browns handled him. Newton recognized the flaws in Sanders' game, especially his tendency to hold the ball too long, but he emphasized that those are coachable issues. Issues you fix through reps, guidance, and time with the first team. But how do you coach habits out of a player who isn't even given the opportunity to develop them in practice? The irony, as Newton pointed out, was almost painful. Despite everything working against him, despite the lack of preparation and the speed of the game overwhelming him, Sanders still came within one catch of tying the game. That's talent. That's raw ability bursting through the cracks of a broken process. It showed what could have been, and what still might be. Jason McCourty added another layer to the conversation, reminding everyone that the reality is rarely all or nothing. Sanders wasn't sabotaged, nor was he simply unprepared. He was a rookie thrust into a system that wasn't built for him, trying to execute plays designed around another quarterback's strengths. The protections, the pocket movement, the reads, everything was crafted for Dillon Gabriel. And when Gabriel went down, the Browns tried to fit Sanders into that mold without giving him the week-long preparation he needed. McCourty's biggest point stood out clearly. Most teams give their backup quarterback at least some reps with the starters. Not a full workload, but enough to ensure they aren't walking into a game cold. The fact that Cleveland wasn't doing that at all shocked even seasoned analysts. It raised real questions about whether the Browns have a quarterback development system or simply hope for the best. Now the Browns find themselves at a crossroads as they prepare for the Raiders. Gabriel's concussion status is uncertain, and if he isn't cleared, the spotlight shifts fully to Sanders. But this time, things are different. Sanders would go into the game with real first-team reps, real chemistry building, real preparation. The offense would be structured around his strengths. And for the first time, we would get to see who Shedeur Sanders is as an NFL quarterback when the circumstances are actually fair. The wide receivers are talented enough to support him. The offensive line, despite injuries, can protect him if the scheme adapts. Sanders has always been sharp mentally, with fast processing and a quick release when he trusts what he sees. With the right game plan, quick throws, bootlegs, screens, designed rollouts, he can play to his strengths and mitigate the weaknesses around him. The stakes are enormous, not just for this week, but for Sanders' future in Cleveland. If he performs well, the narrative shifts instantly. He becomes a legitimate option moving forward, a quarterback the Browns can develop with real intention. If he struggles again, even with preparation, the criticism will intensify, and questions about his long-term trajectory will grow louder. But one thing is clear: this upcoming opportunity will finally give us an honest evaluation of who Sanders is and what he can become. No excuses, no unfair setups, no mid-game chaos. Just a young quarterback stepping onto the field with the tools he deserves. What happens next could define the Browns' season. It could redefine Sanders' career. And it could force the organization to re-evaluate how they prepare the players they claim to believe in. The truth is simple: Sanders' talent is real, and his potential is enormous. But talent without preparation becomes wasted potential. With the structure finally in place, the question becomes, will he rise and show the league what he's truly capable of? Before you go, what do you think happens next? Do the Browns give Sanders the full support he deserves? Will he rise to the moment if he starts against the Raiders? And should Stefanski rethink his entire quarterback development philosophy? Share your take in the comments, and if you enjoyed this deep dive, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss the latest breakdowns, stories, and behind-the-scenes drama shaping the NFL.